I think I'm actually being blocked from my side, but it's okay. Either way, Palani, I will get your recording.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, colleagues, welcome. We just want to take you through today the back capturing system, walk you through the process, and take any questions that you may have on how to use the system. And then I will also take you through where you can find some additional resources in terms of user manuals, etc., that could help you as you progress with back capturing. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just share my screen. Colleagues, if you do join the session, if you can please stay muted until you have a question. If you do have any questions, please feel free to put it into the chat or put your hand up on Teams and we'll take questions a little bit later. Okay. So first, I'm going to take you through your landing page. So you will access the system by going to evds.health.gov.za, and this is where you would then log in. I'm going to switch to a training module, so it is the same process. It's just a training landing page, as you can see, so that we're not capturing anything incorrectly into the system, which is live. Okay. So when you log into the landing page, you click log in on the top right-hand side, and you would put your username that you have been sent and then your password. Please remember that if you are logging in for the first time, that you will use the password that was sent to you by email. And after logging in for the first time, you'll then be asked to update that password to one of your choosing. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly log in here. And then you'll click log in. If you have forgotten your password for whatever reasons, then you'll just click forgot password and it will prompt you with some security questions so that you are able to reset it. Okay. So I'm just going to click log in. Okay. As you can see, this pop-up will usually occur in terms of saving your username and your password for the next time you log in. Please say never. We do not want this because anyone that could log into the device who should not have access will then be able to access the system. So just please remember to just say never. Okay. So we are now on this page where you will then need to select the facility that you will be associated with or assisting with back capture. Okay. Before I go there, I just want to say that as you can see, my user profile, my account is here on the top right-hand side. So you can click on that and you can either click log out when you're done with your session. If you click on help, it will take you to the user manual on how to use the system, and then edit profile is where you can then edit your password, your security questions, etc. Okay. So once you're on, you've now logged in, you will search for a facility. So I will choose Helen Joseph, and you can click search. It will come up at the bottom, and please make sure you select it by clicking on the little square box. You will then set your facility. Please do make sure you set the correct facility that you are assisting with the back capture, because all records will then be associated to that facility. So I'm going to set my facility. It will give the information and it will have a pop-up saying, please ensure that this is the correct facility. Again, this is just to reiterate that as you are capturing the vaccines, it's very important because the vaccines have to be captured against the right facility. Okay? And then a facility such as Helen Joseph might have more than one vaccine site, so you'll just select the vaccine site and set it. Okay. We are now in the search for patient landing page. You will be using the form that has been given to you to back capture to look at the ID number. You will click on search for patient. And you'll be prompted to either put ID number, patient record, or all other numbers. All other numbers refer to passport numbers, refugee numbers, and anything that is not related to a South African ID. Okay. So I'm going to select on ID number, and I have some testing data here. So I'm just going to select an ID. You will get that from the patient, the manual record that you have on hand. You'll type in whatever that ID number is and click search. Okay. You will then scroll down and we can see that the ID number that I've put in has come up here. It's got the name, the ID number, date of birth, address, and then that they are eligible for the vaccine. Okay. There might be more than one that may come up, especially if you only click, for example, if you only typed in 6704, there might be a whole bunch and then you'll double check. Once you confirm that this is the patient that you need to back capture the vaccine for, you will click on the table and it will take you to this page which has all the patient information. Okay. At this point, please do start confirming the patient information that has been captured on the record. Please verify the full name, date of birth, the ID number, if they have a vaccine voucher, whether that was issued, medical aid, cell phone, and their email address. Okay. You will then have to, if you need to edit anything, you will click here on the left-hand side, which is Edit Patient Information. And you can see that this patient, we haven't selected the language or the medical aid number. Okay. And we can do so now. So please note that this patient information that is captured on the system is what was captured when the patient registered for vaccination on EVDS or when they went to the site by the patient admin. So that is what you are verifying. So please just do verify that whatever was registered is what you are seeing on the paper record. You cannot change anything that has a red star next to it. So surname, first name, date of birth, sex, you cannot change, and you can see I'm getting errors if I do try. Okay. However, you can, if you look here, sorry, not the red stars, apologies. The red.
Can I just pause you a bit? Some people are saying they're waiting in the lobby. Mapaya, can you please check?
I'm unable to see anything from the lobby on my side.
I have a Tebogo. Let me just click admit.
Yes. Tebogo was the one who's telling me she's waiting. And I also can't see the lobby as well. Tanya, I would be admitting people. It seems like you're the only person.
Okay, I'll check. I'll stop sharing when I do see. I think Tebogo needs to do the same thing. Please, Polani, is restart, because every time I click admit, it rejects it.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Yeah. Okay.
Proceed.
Okay, so anything that is grayed out, my apologies, is what you cannot change. It is as per what is registered on the system when the patient registered for vaccination. Okay, so you can see surname, first name, date of birth. However, you are able to update their preferred language or their medical aid number. Okay, so I will just choose Discovery Medical Health Scheme. I will enter a number if that is what is on the record. You can update their email address, phone number, and also their physical address. Okay. So once that is done, you will click Update Patient. If when you do look at this and all of this is correct as per the patient record that you have, then you can then just say, I've confirmed the patient information is correct and the voucher number present is that, and then you confirm the patient. Okay. We'll click Confirm. And now it's time to register that they received the vaccination, and you'll just click Register Vaccination. Okay. I'm just going to pause here as I do see someone's in the lobby. Okay. Okay, so as back capturers, because you are logging in with that account information, this toggle which says back capture ? Will always be selected. That is associated with your account as a back capturer. So you will need to just complete that. You will then look at your paper record and see what the date of the vaccination was. So we'll choose that. And the date was, let's say, the 15th. You'll select the time that the vaccination occurred. So let's do 11:30. And we can search for a... Okay, so the vaccinator isn't being found. My apologies. I don't know if this is going to go through then. Okay, I'm going to continue and then we can go back there. There we go. So we can put, you'll put the vaccinator name that is on the paper record. You will then use that paper record to answer all these patient questions, which the vaccinator should have captured. So, are you sick today? We'll say no. They haven't received vaccines. They haven't received any other COVID-19 vaccine. If it's yes, you will then be prompted that there should be information on when they received their first dose and where. Okay. Now we'll just say no. Have you been diagnosed? No. If it's yes, the patient should have stated what date they tested positive. There's no anaphylactic reactions, no trouble breathing, they never broke out in hives. So you'll answer all these questions, okay? And again, this should all be on the paper record. Okay, they don't have any chronic conditions. If there are chronic conditions, again, they would have had to specify it to the vaccinator at the time, and that should have been captured on the paper record. Okay, and would they suspect that they might be pregnant? And we'll say no. Okay. At that point, the vaccinator should have said whether they were proceeding with the vaccination or not. So we are going to assume they did because you do have that paper record. Okay. So you have now obtained the health background of the patient and you've captured everything that was communicated to Raleigh as the vaccinator. You will then be asked that the informed consent was captured. So you'll have to select what vaccine was administered. So we will say COVID-19. Apologies, I'm going to go back to the lobby. And this is where Raleigh would have said on the paper record as well that he read out the information regarding the vaccine and that he confirms that he did. Okay, again, this is all on the paper record that should be captured, and that the patient consent was given. Okay? Again, all of this should be captured on the paper record. Please do note if any of this has not been captured on the paper record, please don't just select yes. Please do confirm with the vaccinator whether this occurred or not, as this is an electronic patient record. So for any information that is captured and anything that you are putting on here for legal ramifications, for auditing, and any information that the patient may require relating to the COVID-19 vaccine, this is the only record. Okay, so it's very important that we capture everything correctly. Okay. At this point, we would know that they received the vaccine. That's why you have the paper record, so you'll confirm that it was administered to the patient. Again, which they should have captured that, for example, this patient used their ID book to verify that it really was them. We are having situations in the field where this verification did not occur, and that is causing some issues where people are being incorrectly vaccinated against the wrong ID number. Okay, so please just state which one the vaccinator had used. Apologies, I do see more people in the lobby. Okay, so you will then select what was the vaccine. Was it a first dose? Was it a second dose? Because we captured earlier that it was a Johnson, it will only allow you to capture first dose. If it was a Pfizer, you would then be able to select between whether it was the first or the second dose. Okay, and then you will select whatever batch number that was. If the vaccinator has captured on the form what the serial number was, please do capture that. Make sure that is correct. However, it is not vital for it to be captured on the system. As you can see, it doesn't have a red star next to it. And then same thing, if there was an expiry date or manufacturing date, that was captured on the record. Okay. So once you've done all of this according to the record, you verified again that it is the ID number that you had been capturing against, then you'll just click register vaccination. Okay. This will give you another opportunity to just confirm that what you have captured is correct, that the ID number is correct based on the record that you are looking at, and then you will click finish. Okay. Once you click finish, it will take you back to the landing page where you can search by number for the patient ID, as we had spoken through earlier. You don't need to go back to the landing page every time. Okay. If you are, however, capturing for multiple facilities, please make sure that if you are capturing for a different facility now, that you log out and log back in, and make sure that you update your vaccine site, because you can see here it just took me back to what I had associated myself with. Okay. So that is back capturing. Before I move on to just showing you where you can access the user manual if you're not on the system, or any other materials that might be useful for you to understand what EVDS is and also how to capture, I just want to see if there are any questions.
Yes, Tanya, we've got a question from Pilar. It says, should we back capture if the name on the paper record and the name on the EVDS does not correspond, but the ID numbers are correct?
Palani, they should correspond, because whatever was registered by the patient, when they registered against the ID number, it should be the same. However, what you can do is also just confirm against what was the vaccinator captured on the paper record.
Okay,
Yep.
So due to experience and the back capturing I've done with the other teams, some people during the self-registration, they tend to make mistakes. Even with the bulk upload, there are a few mistakes here and there. Maybe a surname is captured as a first name, or vice versa, or whatever slight mistake there is. Some of the vaccinators actually do administer the vaccination. But when you come and check on EVDS, everything is corresponding, but just a slight problem. For us as back capturing, do we continue to capture because it was administered, everything was done, just there was a clash with the names? Do we still capture as a successful, what you call, a vaccination, and then focus on the changes a bit later when they can be done? Because at the moment, I know for a fact that the name changes cannot be done on any level, even on sites and with us on the back end, it cannot be done. So I just need to know, do we capture those or do we put the records aside?
So Palani, I'm going to double check that for you and I'll let you know. Because this is the patient record, it's very difficult for me to say, yes, capture, and it's actually incorrect. So I do think in certain situations, it's about confirming what that ID is, what is the correct name, and then we're having to change it on the back end.
Yeah.
And raising that as an exception, right?
Yes, it's within the exceptions that PR is working on, and I was on the team that's working on the exceptions, but it's not, nothing is official yet. So I was just checking for these guys to be on the safe side. What do we do? What do they do? Do they continue their back capturing so the numbers will go down and then be rectified afterwards, or do they put those paper records aside?
I think put those paper records aside for now, Palani, and let me double check with Pierre and the team for a proper policy decision on that. Okay.
Guys, did you hear? I hope you did.
Okay. Another one is, what do we do if the account of the vaccinator is disabled? Will it still allow the capture to go through?
No. Whoever the account has to be captured against the vaccinator that administered the vaccine. Even if they do not have accounts any longer, they should still be on the system, so you will be able to select them because they were administering prior.
Okay, thank you. And the last question I did not manage to type down. If the expiry dates on the paper record does not correspond to the auto-generated expiry dates for the vial, which dates do we use? Do we use the one on the paper record or do we use the auto-generated one?
The paper record, please. I think, because, and also Palani, the expiry date you don't need to capture on the system.
Okay, thank you.
So if it's incorrect, just leave it out, because it is not. It's a nice to have that we do recommend having, but in certain situations, the vaccinator might not even have captured that. No. We do need, however, the batch number to be correct.
Okay. No, it's just some clarity I was checking for the guys, because for some of the paper records, we just did some checkings to see what are the issues with the paper records. And this is some of the things that I have flagged, and I just needed the guys to be sure of before they even start doing capturing.
Perfect. Thank you, Palani.
So those are my questions. Yeah, you can continue the presentation.
Thanks. Is there any questions from anyone else?
No, just those two.
Okay. Okay, so I just want to quickly take you guys to his support. So his support is where a lot of the documentation is. As you can see, you click on knowledge base. There are quite a few sections regarding the different types of ecosystems. So we've got training materials for vaccinators and patient admin, etc. But I do want to just take you to where you can find the user manual for back capturing. So if you scroll down, you'll see the electronic vaccination data system. There is an EVDS user manual here, and then you can download the PDF. So you don't have to log into the system to get this. And my recommendation is please do go read. There are sections that walk you through this with images, and it walks you through the system as I've just taken you through it. And it just speaks through what you need to capture and how to capture. Okay. We will also, Palani, make this link available. It will only be sent to me, this recording, towards the end of the day. So we will send it to you as soon as we receive it so that you can distribute this training as well.
Okay, correct. There's another question from one of the team members. I'll try my best to read it out. But if they can, Nelly, can you unmute yourself and just ask the question? Excuse me. Nelisa, can you unmute yourself and ask the question if you can? Okay, Nelisa was asking about the screening questions.
Screening.
Yes, because the whole document might be fully, the paper record might be fully filled out, and just that the vaccinator forgot to fill in some of the screening questions at the bottom, which ask about your existing conditions or those kinds of things. If they are not ticked, do we continue the capture or we have to contact the vaccinator?
Best practice is to contact the vaccinator.
And if the vaccinator has sends in and we're dealing with so much vaccinations, do we think they will give us a correct answer for a particular patient, since they might be dealing with over 50 vaccinations per day or upwards?
So I think in that situation, the best thing is to contact the vaccinator, because you have to do your due diligence, right? That you aren't just making an assumption. The vaccinator might do that. We cannot speak for them. However, they might have a process where if the patient answered no, just for them to be quick, they just left it blank. So that might be their process that they are following, which might not be correct, but you need to confirm first, please.
Yes, we do have papers like that where an entire site, nothing has been answered, but the vaccination has been administered. So we assume that it's their policy, but okay, yes, indeed.
Please, please do confirm. So that you've done your due diligence. Okay, yes. So remember that you will be keeping all these paper records on file. So if any auditing comes through, if you haven't double checked, there may be a problem. So when necessary, do double check, do contact the vaccinator so that you have done what you needed to do as part of your responsibility.
Yes, as a follow-up to that, if you do contact the vaccinator, they give you the answer. Do you put in the ticks yourself or do you leave the paper as is, since it's an official medical record? What do we do in that case?
Lonnie, you're asking me very good questions that I will need to double check for you.
Yeah, I just do not want the guys to be found in a situation that they're in some muddy waters.
Agreed.
Or maybe if I'm assuming we get red pens where we take on a different color and just say our editions are in red pen.
Yeah, and maybe your initial. Let me double check with the team.
Okay, thank you. And guys, if you are unable to see the presentation, a recording will be supplied to you guys. You will be able to watch the video.
But I will make it available to Palani as early as tomorrow. If I can get it today, I will send it to you today.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Nothing on my side.
And Nelly, did I cover your question correctly? Because I saw you typing and you just went blank. Please confirm for me on WhatsApp or in the chats if I conveyed your question correctly. Tanya, if possible, can you get it to me as early as today so I can share with the guys so they can be up to date before they even start capturing? Because some are actually willing to start today with the back capturing because they have their papers and they are at the district's office waiting to assist.
So Palani, it depends because teams sometimes
Yes,
doesn't play ball. So it's as soon as it gets sent to me, I can then one of my team members puts it somewhere where you guys can get access to it.
Okay.
So I will try. If team members do want to start, please do have a look at that user manual that I shared. Actually, let me put it into the link to that here in the chat because that does cover everything and you can read through that.
Yes, guys, the user manual.
Here is the link. I put it in the chat, and if you go there, then you can just access the user manual. Everything is, that's how we even got trained at the beginning. Okay.
Tanya, if you may, can you just go over it again so the guys who joined a bit later can also see, and the ones who have to restart their teams can also be able to see as well.
No problem.
So guys, if you can you just quickly restart your teams if you're having visuals problems? So when you join again, Tanya will be redoing this. I will also share a digital register on the chats so you can just sign to say you were here.
Thank you. Palani, do you want me to quickly go through just the user manual and how to get it, or also just the system itself?
Both, please.
Okay. Let me quickly go to the system. I'm going to log out. Okay. So, guys, when you access the landing page for EVDS, let me just show you here. As you can see, this is the landing page. When you go to evds.health.gov.za, you will click login. Okay. I'm just going to take us to the training module, so I will click login. I will put my username that has been sent to me on email and then my password. Please note that if it's the first time you are using logging into the system and using your credentials, that you'll be prompted to change your password. So please make sure that you do that because the one that is sent to you by the system does expire. Okay. If you have forgotten your password at any stage when you log in, you can just click forgot password and you'll be prompted to answer some security questions and you will then be able to reset it. Okay. So I'm just going to log in now. You will then be on this page. You've got your account details here where you can edit the profile. So this is where you would then go to update your password. Help if you do need to access the user manual once you're on the system. So as you're capturing, etc., you can do that. Or you can use his support, which I'll take you through shortly. Once you've logged in, you will need to select and associate yourself to the facility that you will be capturing vaccinations for. So I'll select Helen Joseph, for example, click search. The facility will come up and remember to just click the tick box and set your facility as Helen Joseph. It will then prompt you to ensure that this is the correct facility that you are capturing against. Please note that all vaccinations that you are back capturing need to be recorded against the right facility of where the patient went to receive their vaccination. You will then have your vaccine site, select Helen Joseph, and set the vaccine site. Okay. You will then now need to start capturing for the patient. So you'll refer to your paper record, you'll say search for patient, and you'll select which type of identification number that the vaccine was captured against. So whether it was an ID number, if it was a refugee number or a passport number from a different country, then you'll select all other numbers. Okay. So I'm going to use ID number. Let me go to my test. This one is still available. And you'll search for the ID number. Please make sure that as you are capturing it, that you are confirming that this is the correct ID number as per what is on the paper record. You'll click search. While that's being done, I just want to allow more people from the lobby. Okay. You can then scroll down and you can see that against that ID number, we've got Constance.
The chat is gone. The presentation is gone, Tanya. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Can you see now, Palani?
Yes, it's back.
Okay. So you'll see that Constance is who the name is against the ID number, and if that is the patient that you need to capture the vaccination for, you will click on on that patient information. Here you'll be able to verify the demographic information as per what is on the paper record. If anything needs to get edited, you can click on edit patient information. As we can see, this is also prompted that we don't have a language set for Constance. Again, we can just select that. Anything that is in grey, so grayed out, is something that you cannot change on the system. So this was done during patient registration, so you are not able to change that. Okay, so we'll just select our language. Let's put English. We confirm that everything else is correct. If the cell phone number here is not correct as per the patient record, you can change it. You will then click Update Patient, and you can then select I've confirmed that the patient information as what is here is as per the patient record that you have, and then confirm patient details. Okay. You are now ready to register the vaccination. As a back capture, your toggle will always be on back capture, so you will never be recording the vaccine live, so you can't change that here as it's associated with your account. You will then capture the date of the vaccination, so let's say the paper record says it's the 2021, it was July the 21st. Okay. You'll capture the time of the vaccine, so let's say it was 12 o'clock. And then you will search for the vaccinator as per the patient record. So let's do Rally again. And you can see that he comes up. Again, as per the question that was asked earlier, if the vaccinator is no longer vaccinating patients, they've had an account on EVDS, they've been administering vaccines, so they should appear on the system. You will then need to answer the patient questions as per what is captured on the paper record. So this would have been communicated and asked by the vaccinator. So we'll just click no. Again, if you do click yes to some of these, it will ask you for some additional details that again should have been captured by the vaccinator. Just click no. So for example, if we clicked yes, you might have had to select TB if that is what was captured. Okay. And then female vaccine recipients would have been asked if they suspect pregnancy. We're going to click no. And then the vaccinator should have captured that they wished to proceed with vaccinating the patient based on all this information. Okay, so you've obtained the health background at that point. You'll then be prompted to record the informed consent that the vaccinator got. So we'll select which vaccine would be administered. They would have read this out to the patient, and then they would have said that they've read it. So you will then capture that. And then they should have read out consent and then captured that the patient consented to being vaccinated. Okay. You will then do another check here, just saying that obviously you're capturing the vaccination. So you'll just say, I confirm. and then you'll capture what you had used to verify identification. So if it was the ID, you would have done that. And then because it's Johnson, you'll only be able to capture vaccination first dose. If it was Pfizer, you would have had the options here of vaccination first or second dose, and you'd capture that accordingly. You'll then capture the batch number as per what is on the paper record, and then serial number, expiry date, and manufacturing date. As you can see, it does not have a red star. It's not necessarily required. If the vaccinator has captured that on the paper record, please do complete that here as well. Okay. Once that is all complete and you're happy that everything has been captured as per the paper record, you will register the vaccination. This will then give you another summary of what you have just captured, the patient name, ID number. So this allows you just one last chance to verify that everything is correct, and then you can click finish. Thereafter, you will be sent to just the patient search. You do not need to do your facility registration again. However, if you've now finished, for example, back capturing all the Helen Joseph Hospital ones and you are now having to assist Baragwanath, you will then need to log out and relog in to change your facility. Okay. Please do remember, and it's something I didn't mention, is if you leave your computer or your tablet unattended, go get coffee or go have a toilet break, please make sure to log out. Okay, we do not want people that do not have access to the system to be able to access it. So please do make sure anytime you leave your machine to log out, and it will take you back to the landing page. Yeah.
And can I just add something on top of that? Guys, please remember you are dealing with medical records. If for whatever reason you happen to see a name of a person that you know or even a relative, do not take pictures and say, okay, I see on the system that I'm working on. That's against the law. It's against the law. You might get tempted. It might even be someone who's very, very close to you. Please refrain from doing that. Thank you.
Agreed. This is all very, as per with any clinical information, this is all patient confidentiality and protected by law. So as Palani said, please don't share this with anyone. Don't talk about it. It's just about capturing it and almost forgetting about it. Yeah. And again, if you would like to access the user manual, you can go to his support. Just click on knowledge base. If you scroll down, you will go to the electronic vaccination data system, EVDS, and your user manual is here. You'll click on that, and on the right hand side is your PDF that you can download. Okay, I have put the link in the chat that takes you directly to this page, so you can just do a quick download. Okay, so that is the system. Palani, I will get back to you on those other two questions. Let me ask for some policy decisions around that. And I'll communicate that with you as soon as I have it. Have some feedback.
Noted. So I just had another question about the time. So some vaccinators do not put the time that they administer the vaccination. Guys, you'll have to put in the time that you are capturing. That was the information I was shared, because some people do not actually put that time at all, and we cannot be sending these papers because of the time they administered the vaccination.
Agreed.
So you use the time that you are actually capturing the record. So time is not of a high importance. We'll just use the time that you are capturing. Thank you, guys.
That's a good note. Thank you, Palani. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for making the time. Good luck with the back capturing. We hope this helped, and yes, good luck.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Okay, before you leave.
Yes.
For user accounts, I contact the districts directly, or is it handled by Mapaya or yourself or Mpegi?
No, the user accounts, you mean for the back capture accounts?
Yes.
Yes, so you have to to contact the district, and their account creator should create the accounts for you guys. You will just have to complete the access form and send it to the account creator within the district.
Okay, no, I'll handle that with the team because we do have a communication with them. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so it's those account creators that will be able to create those accounts for you, because then you'll also be telling them which facility you will be supporting going forward.
Yes. Yeah, and another mitigation for people you incorrectly selecting the incorrect facility. I just assign specific facilities that they're working on. So
Yes.
people won't be chopping and changing. If they're not assigned to Helen Joseph, they'll give up the paper to a person who's assigned to Helen Joseph. At least that mitigates capturing an incorrect facility.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Yes, Mapaya?
No, I was just in concern with what you're saying.
Yeah.
That if they're not capturing for that facility, then they give the paper to the person who's capturing for that facility.
Yeah.
Makes
So,
things easier for them.
Yeah. So me assigning the whole district or the whole province, I do not believe in it because it has shown so many mistakes. Just to avoid, we just selected certain people. You'll be doing this facility, and they'll only be liable for that facility.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. And Palani, let me know if there's anything else you need.
You've covered basically anything. Anything is on me and the team. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Guys, I also sent in what you call the register. Guys, you're still here. I sent you guys a register. I sent you a register. There's a link on the chats. Please go to the chats, click on that link and fill out that register to prove that you are here. And yeah, and get everything sorted. On the chats, yes, on the chats. I've also sent it on the group as well for you guys who are in the group. Yeah, thank you. You can leave the meeting now.
Yeah. Yes, exited the meeting. I wanted to do it there. Mute. Yeah, because you had chat. No, you had chat. No. What was the chat? No, 2023. 2025.